June 14th, 2025. The world watched in disbelief. At the George Namoano Military Academy in Burkina Faso, a young leader walked among warriors. Not just soldiers, but what some are calling an army of ghosts. Elite commandos, battle-hardened fighter, trained to move in silence and strike with precision. The target of their loyalty: one man, one lion, one revolutionary, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. 1 million commandos, just for him? The West is stunned. Africa is watching. And history is being rewritten in real time. This is the moment that changed the game. Like, share and subscribe. Because what you're about to hear will change the way you see Africa's future. 6:47 a.m. The first light of dawn crept across the skies of southern Burkina Faso. But inside the walls of the Georges Namoano Military Academy, the air was electric. Thousands of cadets stood shoulder to shoulder in crisp camouflage. Boots shined, nerves steady. These weren't just soldiers. They were the future defenders of an independent nation, trained under a revolutionary vision. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. A convoy appeared, discreet but unmistakably presidential. No red carpets, no fanfare. Then, he stepped out. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, beret tilted, combat uniform pressed, eyes focused, back straight. He wasn't flanked by Western security. He was flanked by his own. Burkinabè special forces, trained under new doctrines, free from foreign interference. And here's what made this entrance historic. He didn't head straight for the podium. He walked the entire line, looking each cadet in the eye. He saluted them. He didn't need to command fear. He radiated something more powerful: belonging. "You are not just soldiers," he said later in his speech. "You are the guardians of our future, the builders of a sovereign land." The crowd of soldiers erupted in unison, not in applause, but in a chant that echoed across the valley. "Patrie ou la mort, nous vaincrons. Home or death, we shall overcome." The moment was spiritual. To the outside world, this looked like a military event. But to Burkinabè citizens, it was something else entirely. A coronation, a vow of loyalty, a leader walking with lions, not ruling above them. And in that moment, Traoré wasn't just president. He was legend. They appeared like ghosts, quiet, disciplined, unblinking. They didn't smile. They didn't flinch. They surrounded the president like a living wall of silence. But who were they? These were not just ordinary troops. They are the elite commandos of Burkina Faso, forged in the fires of frontline battle against terrorism, jihadist insurgencies, and cross-border rebel attacks. And under Traoré's command, their training has taken a new dimension. In the last year alone, Burkina Faso has undergone an unprecedented military transformation. Training camps established deep in the forests, mountains, and deserts. Recruits selected not for privilege, but for purpose and grit. Combat drills, modeled after the Soviet Spetsnaz and Russian Wagner-style tactics. Night vision, combat, IED disarming, drone warfare, guerrilla tracking, and more importantly, ideological unity. These are men and women who believe in the mission. Their allegiance isn't just to a flag, it's to a revolution. Free the country from terror, free the Sahel from neo-colonialism, restore dignity to Africa, and they're doing it. Just months before this ceremony, Operation Battalion Eclair swept across the eastern border, eliminating over 250 insurgents with 0 civilian casualties. A tactical feat credited to the very commandos seen standing behind Traore that day. What the world misunderstands is that this display isn't just power, it's earned respect. These commandos have bled for the soil. They've buried brothers. They've rescued entire villages. And when they stand around their captain, it's not out of fear. It's because they've seen him stand with them under the same sky, in combat zones, not conference rooms. They are not props, they are purpose. And if 1 million of them rise, it is not to protect a man. It is to protect the dream he carries. The global press didn't know how to react. Western analysts sat stunned. This can't be real, one French defense columnist tweeted. 1 million fighters, for what? But those who understand the Sahel knew exactly what this was. This wasn't just a ceremony. It was a strategic signal, and not just to terrorists. It was a message to ECOWAS, to France, to the US, to NATO. Burkina Faso is done asking for protection. They're building their own. And this is what terrifies them the most. That Traore's methods are working. That villages once abandoned are now guarded. That local militias are integrating into state structures. That Mali, Niger, and even parts of Chad are starting to echo his model. And the rumors? They're louder now. Burkina Faso is preparing a regional special force. The AES bloc might soon have a united command. ECOWAS remains mostly silent. No condemnations, no sanctions, because behind closed doors, they are watching carefully. They see how quickly Traore has gone from soldier to sovereign, and how he has the loyalty of the most feared military units in West Africa. The West fears weapons, but Traore understands the real weapon is a soldier who believes. In Burkina Faso, war isn't theory, it's not history, it's daily life. More than 2 million Burkinabè have been displaced by jihadist violence over the last decade. Entire provinces fell into the hands of terror groups until Traore took power. Under his new military strategy, the AMGN has become more than a training ground. It's a war lab, a leadership forge, and a counter-terrorism think tank rolled into one. And the commandos trained here, they don't wait to be deployed. They're active before they graduate, inserted into missions, shadowing senior officers, engaging in real-time data tracking from the field. Each cadet is taught how to fight, how to protect civilians, how to think like insurgents to outmaneuver them, and above all, how to serve with honor, not ego. Traore's military doctrine is clear. We do not create warlords, we create protectors. It's why, in less than 18 months, Burkina Faso has regained over 40% of territory once controlled by jihadist groups. It's why citizens now volunteer to fight, not out of fear, but out of faith. And it's why the West is scrambling to understand the new model. No foreign bases, no begging for UN missions, no dependence on colonial leftovers, just unity, local intelligence, and strategic fearlessness. The AMGN class of 2025 isn't just graduating, they're deploying directly to battlefields and winning. As the ceremony closed, Traore did something unexpected. He stepped down from the podium and stood beside a 19-year-old cadet from Kaya. The cameras zoomed in. He placed a hand on the young man's shoulder and whispered something inaudible. Later, that cadet told a journalist, he said, "You are not my soldier. You are my successor. My duty is to make sure you live long enough to lead." That is what separates Traore. He doesn't want followers. He wants leaders who can fight, think, and protect. This is the beginning of what Burkinabè youth now call La Garde du Lion. The Lion's Guard. It's not an official title. It's a movement, a mindset, a legacy. And the West, they can't understand it, because they've never seen an African army not trained in Paris or Washington. They've never seen a president become a myth while still alive. But now, they're watching. And the question echoing in the halls of power is no longer, can Traore survive? It's, can we stop the fire he's lit across Africa? 1 million commandos or not, the real power isn't in the numbers. It's in the hearts of every young African now daring to believe we can protect our land. We can write our destiny. Captain Traore didn't just walk through a ceremony. He walked into history with lions behind him and a continent rising beneath his feet. Subscribe to Pan-African Hub now. Share this video if you believe the age of African power has arrived. The next chapter will shock you even more.